Hello, my name is Nick Smallwood and I'm a consultant in acute medicine. Welcome to the collection of videos outlining the Focused Acute Medicine Ultrasound, or FAMUS, accreditation process. This first video is going to give you an overview of the process. We're going to briefly introduce things, then cover a bit of detail of the training process. We'll explain the differences between supervisors and mentors, cover some of the most frequently asked questions, and then outline some useful resources for you to access. FAMUS itself is the point-of-care ultrasound accreditation standard created by the Society for Acute Medicine and was established in 2016. It's a modular collection which is designed to be suitable for any clinician who has any care of patients at the front door or acutely unwell adult patients. We're developing new modules all the time, and these will be available via the website, and people can choose to pick which module they see helping their practice at any given time. All of the information I'm going to cover in this presentation is available via the FAMUS section of the Acute Medicine website. The modules are broken down into two different types. The first are the diagnostic modules, for example, thoracic, abdominal renal, and DVT. And these modules are focused on improving your diagnostic capabilities and being able to exclude significant negative diagnoses. And the procedural modules, for example, lumbar puncture and intravenous access. These modules are designed to teach you the skills of ultrasound to assist you in being able to perform the procedure itself more safely and successfully. It's important to say that we don't teach procedural competency, and when you're undertaking the procedural modules, you need to be competent in the given procedure before you start. All of our modules are broken down into both theoretical and practical components, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about the theoretical component now. So for every module, we ask that you undertake the Ultrasound Basics e-learning for health, which is available on the e-learning for health platform, which requires registration separately. This is free for NHS users, and outside of the UK, you can access this via e-Integrity. This basic module takes you through the ultrasound physics and how ultrasound images are generated and how you're able to make diagnoses with them. Once you've completed this, most of the diagnostic modules have a relevant e-learning for health module associated, which we ask you to undertake and complete the assessment at the end. Alongside this, during your scanning, you will undertake formative theoretical learning with your supervisor or mentor, where you're talking through the theory and understanding the concepts in more detail. And all of these three aspects are mandatory for each of the modules. The other ways of undertaking your theoretical learning are attendance at a FAMUS approved practical course, which is no longer mandatory, but we do recommend them because they give you a solid grounding in the aspects of the module you're undertaking. And there's lots of free resources available with images and teaching videos at famus.org.uk. Focusing on the diagnostic modules in a little more detail, these are learnt through three stages. Stage 1 is the theoretical stage, which we've covered already. Stage 2 is then supervised practice, where you go and scan patients directly with your supervisor or mentor overseeing, so they can talk you through the things you're doing well, and you can focus on the things that need a bit more work. And this is where you really start to put the theory into practice. Stage 3 is mentored practice. This is once you've completed a number of supervised scans and you both feel able for you to go out and scan on your own, and you undertake scans, you report them, and then at a later date you talk through with your supervisor or mentor to make sure that you made the right diagnoses and put everything into clinical practice. This is the chance that you get to really focus on consolidating your skills and your confidence and making sure you see the whole breadth of the curriculum. We've suggested an indicative number of scans for each module and an indicative number of pathologies to ensure that you're able to cover the whole breadth of the curriculum. The procedural modules are undertaken in two stages. Again, stage 1, the theoretical stage we've talked about, and then stage 2 combines the supervised and mentored practice, because in reality the majority of your scans will be undertaken with someone overseeing you directly. We again have created an indicative number of scans to ensure that you can get competent in the given procedural guidance. Once you've completed the indicative number of scans and both you and your supervisor or mentor feel confident, you can then undertake the assessment of completion of training at the end. This is a summative assessment which ensures that you have the competence through the whole theoretical and practical aspects to become independent in that module. If you complete the ACT, then that must be signed by a registered supervisor and then returned to the FAMUS administrator for registration. Once registered, you will be accredited in that module for 3 years. So just to summarize that process, first of all, we ask that you register with the FAMUS administrator, and for the majority of modules that will mean a fee is payable. And we recommend you attend a FAMUS approved practical course. You need to start the theoretical training, the ultrasound basics, through the e-learning for health portal. And at the same time all of this is going on, we ask that you find yourself a supervisor. And in fact, we recommend that you don't register until you've found a supervisor to ensure you have someone who can oversee your training. After this, the next step is to undertake your supervised scans with your mentor or supervisor, and then move on to your mentored scans where you learn the majority of the curriculum and gain the competence and confidence to complete things. When both you and your supervisor are happy, you undertake the assessment of completion of training. And once this is signed, we ask that you send it through to the FAMUS administrator. And once registered, you will have completed accreditation in that module. FAMUS utilizes both supervisors and mentors to help deliver your training, and I'll explain the difference here. The FAMUS supervisor oversees your whole training process and is the only person who can sign you off at the end with your assessment of completion of training. They must be registered with the society and their details available on the SAM database. Mentors help to deliver training locally. They are agreed with the supervisor, but they don't have to be registered with the society. They may be competent in individual parts of the curriculum, but not necessarily across the whole module. They can conduct all aspects of your training, but they can't sign you off at the end and can't sign the assessment of completion of training. They essentially help deliver the training alongside your registered supervisor. We're now going to go through some of the more frequently asked questions around the training process. The first of which is whether you need to report your scans, and the answer to that is yes, we ask that you report all of your training scans, although of course without having any patient identifiable information. We provide an example reporting sheet here, but the importance is that you have access to both your report and your images so that you can go through these with your mentor and supervisor in your mentored practice stage, so you're able to consolidate the learning and make sure that your clinical diagnosis is correct. The next question is whether there's any remote supervision options, and again the answer to this is yes. But this has got to be agreed between you and your supervisor at the outset, and this is where they may utilize mentors to deliver some of your learning in particular. You will still require some in-person supervision, even if you're using a remote supervision option, and we recommend that the stage 2 supervised practice is all undertaken in person to ensure that you put your theory into practice and that you start off on the right foot. We give you some example remote supervision platforms available here. We're often asked whether prior ultrasound experience can be counted towards FAMUS accreditation, and the answer to that is in most instances yes. For example, those of you who've done BTS thoracic ultrasound training may well be able to use some of that towards your FAMUS thoracic module. How much is contributed is an individual decision between yourself and your supervisor and will be determined by your previous level of experience. In all instances, we recommend that you undertake the minimum number of directly supervised scans with your supervisor or mentor, so you can both be comfortable with your level of competence and decide on your future learning needs. As with all other practical skills, continuing professional development is incredibly important with ultrasound training. We recommend that you commit to regular audit of your practice and keep a logbook of activity for quality assurance and also appraisal purposes. Your accreditation with FAMUS for each module will last for 3 years, at which time the administrator will ask you to confirm your ongoing regular practice and competence. And finally, administration of the whole process is undertaken via the Society for Acute Medicine. Candidates must register for each individual module with the administrator, and in most cases a fee is payable. All of the details available regarding the FAMUS training process and any questions you may have are available via the FAMUS section of the SAM website, with details available here. We're now going to outline some of the learning resources available for you to use, all of which are free and open access. The first is the FAMUS section of the Society for Acute Medicine website, which has all the detail around the learning and training requirements. Next, we have famus.org.uk, where all the learning materials are housed, including videos and stills outlining the detail of each of the individual modules and the theory behind them. Next, we have the curriculum handbooks. These are available to download from the website, and again have in written form all of the detail around the individual modules and the learning and theory behind them. And finally, we have the FAMUS YouTube channel, where all these videos are housed alongside a raft of videos outlining pathologies that you may see when you're undertaking your training. This ends the FAMUS introductory video. Thank you for watching. May I ask that for more details you head to the FAMUS website.